I'm Lauren and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura's Literary Library, where we talk about all things books, my writing journey, and today I'm finally going to go into how much it cost me to publish and release Arcane Connection. So this is a video that I mentioned I'd make probably back in the summer when I released the book. It has been out since July 14th. I'm really excited that it's out there and that people get the chance to read it. So if you do want to get a copy, I have left a link down in the description box below for you to pick up a copy of this. It is available in ebook and paperback across the entire sort of like shopping sphere online. It is not in KU, unfortunately, because I wanted to go wide. I've heard too many horror stories of Amazon just terminating accounts and not listening to people, and I don't have to deal with that stress, so I've gone for the I'm not going to make any money decision instead. So if you do want to buy a copy, I would really appreciate it. It is in Kobo Plus, so if you have a Kobo and you have Kobo Plus, then you can read that as part of your membership. But anyway, let's get back into this video and look at the expenses of how much it cost me to publish this book. So like with Artefact 299, I have put the amounts for this in both pounds and dollars just to make it a bit more understanding for people around the world. I paid everything in pounds, apart from one invoice that I got in dollars this time, which was a bit of a difference from Artefact 299 because I did have all my editing done from British people this time around, which was interesting, and I'm kind of glad I did it that way, just because they're more understanding of the sort of like lexicon of British slang, so that makes things a little bit easier in that sense. So I have got 8 categories that I put down for this. One of them, I don't really know why I've got it. I think I put it down as like a far off plan of maybe doing like release parties and it's just in there, but I don't think it's ever going to have anything in there, at least not for a while. So the first category is advertising, and I spent nothing for that. I have done no Amazon ads, I don't do Facebook ads, I don't pay for BookPub deals. It's just not something I do. I don't have the money to do it at the moment. And when you see how much I've spent and I've not made it back, you'll understand why, because I think so far this is just a really expensive hobby for me. I am not making any money back on my writing, but I love it so much that I'm just not going to stop. I think I would have to go bankrupt to just stop writing and trying to publish, so that is where we are. So the next category is book cover, and I got my book cover for Arcane Connection from Get Covers. This is my book. This is the beautiful cover that I've got for it. I spent $60 on this, and this is how much it cost for them, like in dollars exactly. But when I paid for it, the amount that actually came out of my account was £49.38, which, to be honest, for this cover is just stunning. Do I think it matches genre expectations? I'm not entirely sure. Again, I am so bad at like doing this. This is an urban fantasy book about witches. My elevator pitch is terrible, but I'll try it once again. How would you live up to your father's legacy? That is the question that's plagued Viola Everett since she was 5 years old, and now it's her turn to make a decision that could affect the entire future of the coven. I feel like it kind of works. It's set in Sheffield, in England. There's like a lot of hints to the Peak District. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like, that is like actually like a mountainy background with some heather, which is kind of what the Peak District is. So I do really like the design of it. I love the purple. When I got the file for this, I was just like awestruck. I don't know if I talked about it much in my cover reveal, but yeah, I just love this cover so much. I probably will need to update it at some point, and I'll be really sad to lose it. The next category that I have is for editing, and in this I paid £600 exactly, which I did not realise until I added it all together for this video. So in 2023 I had an alpha read, and that cost me £50, and then in 2025, the start of this year, I paid for my line copy edits, which were £485, and I paid for a proofreader, which was £65. So I did spend a lot more on editing than I did for Artefact 299. I would like to say that you can tell that there's been slightly different standards of editing, but honestly, I have no idea. So I did spend a lot more for the editing on this than I did for Artefact 299. For Artefact 299, I did get a deal with that. So it was one editor who did 3 different types of editing. But this time I wanted to do it a bit different, mainly because I know that it's better to get multiple eyes on the book at different stages of editing, just so that you've got fresh perspective, things don't get missed, it's easier to pick things up. I like to think that the proofreading of this has gone really well. know of anyone having found many major typos with this, but yeah, I'm really happy with the editing that I got. But that £600 into dollars is $795.36. So even though it's still quite high, for me, it's not as high as I have seen just one round of editing go for. The next category that I have is illustration, and that is blank. I have not paid for any character artwork. I would love to, but again, it's something that is really expensive and I don't have the available funds to just pay someone to do character artwork for me at the moment. Maybe in the future. I am trying to like build up my little sort of like bank of money for publishing, and character artwork is definitely down the line a plan, but at the moment it's just not going to happen. The next category that I have is ISBN, and that is £32.80, so that covered 2 ISBNs, one for my ebook and one for my paperback. I know that you don't have to pay for these, but to be honest, I would rather have them assigned to me, and also it links them all together. So if I have the ISBN for the ebook, that links that ebook edition across the entire world web, because it's not in KU, it's everywhere. And the same with the paperback, it links the copies together, so you've not got like multiple different versions out there in the world. And just for that, I would prefer to pay for the ISBNs. I did buy 10 back in 2021, so that's just 2 that I've used from that, and I've still got a few left over, so that's the price from back then. I don't know if it's changed anything since then. Maybe one day I'll have to update my ISBN costs, but until then, that is how much it costs for 2. And that is the equivalent of around $59. I think I've just left that as what the Bowker ISBNs would have been in 2021, because I didn't see the point in changing that, because again, I bought these all 4 years ago, so I've not really paid anything now. It's what I paid then, so I think I just split it out, which again, I don't know if that has changed at all. So yeah, $59 was what it would have been, so I'm going to keep it as that just for this. My next category is travel, and I think this is where I was potentially thinking in the future I might have book releases and I might need to travel somewhere and include that in the costs for releasing a book. It's not something I've had to do yet, so it is unfortunately blank for this moment in time, but maybe one day it will have something. My next category is proof copies, and I have spent double the amount of proof copies this time round than I did with Artefact 299. So this time round I have spent £22.37. I got 3 proof copies. I got 2 from Amazon and 1 from Ingram Spark. The Ingram Spark one is the one that is stood up, which cost £9.51, I think it was, somewhere around £10 anyway, just for that one copy. But this book is around 140 pages more than Artefact 299, so I'm not surprised that it's doubled. It is pretty much double the word count, double the page count, and because of that, I would have expected higher costs to get that printed and shipped to me. And the final category that I have is miscellaneous. Again, there's nothing in here. I don't know what I'd be using this one for. I don't know if this is where, like printing out the book and putting it in. Maybe I could have put that in there, but I can't remember how much I paid to print this because I got a bound copy. So I did pay to get this copy bound and printed out in 2023, I want to say. This is where I did like some initial like edit notes. I can't really remember how much I spent to get this book printed, and I just don't know like if that's where I would include it. I think I probably would in future. I think that was about £10. So in dollars, what would that have been? About £10 to dollars is like $12.30 or something like that. So not a lot. So not including my printed copy of Arcane Connection, which is Protection at one point, and Project Witch. It's had a few different names. So my total expenses for this book were £704.55, or in dollars, $944.01, which is a lot of money to be spending on something that you don't make anything back. Since July, I'm going to be real with you, I have sold 7 copies and we are now on the 1st of December, so it's not doing great. I think it's doing worse than Artefact 299 did, to be honest. But again, my advertising, marketing strategy is almost non-existent. I have got plans in place that I'm going to try and incorporate to boost that up, because it'd be nice to get some money extra back in to cover the costs for publishing my next book, which I am hoping will be sooner rather than later. But yeah, so it cost me nearly, well, just under $1,000 and just over £700 to publish this book, which I would say is like on the lower end. The fact that I got my cover for so cheap definitely helped, and my editing I think is a low range. It's not very, I think it's very competitive for what I've got, but it's not like where a lot of editors that I've seen have their prices at. So I'm kind of thankful for that, just because it keeps my costs low, because I am not making back the money that I'm putting into this, and it is just a really expensive hobby. If you've got any questions on the process of creating and publishing a book, please let me know in the comments down below, or if you have any comments on the prices that I've listed, let me know as well. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, and if you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, I talk about books, writing, doing my own thing, and sometimes there's like little travel content bits in there as well. As always, I hope you're all well and you're all staying safe, and until next time, bye!